through with all of your Odyssey book and everything you guys are going to do. You guys have heard the word theme before?
Yeah!
Okay. So what are some ideas that you guys have about theme? What is a theme? What is a definition you can put to a theme? Isaac? Background? Avery? What something is about? Anybody else have an idea? What it is, the theme of something. So you guys are reading a book right now, or any other, you can even think of The Lion King, or a Disney movie, or anything like that. And they have certain lessons that you guys learn, right? So through The Lion King, like you guys talked about earlier, or even something super simple as Little Mermaid, or anything like that. What are some lessons that you guys learned after watching those movies when you were little? Can you think of anything? Brainstorm anything? Here, talk to your group for a second about the little. Everyone seen The Little Mermaid?
No.
Okay, everyone kind of knows a little bit at least. Alright. Talk in your group. I will give you 30 seconds and see if you guys can come up with a lesson that you learned from The Little Mermaid. Go. Always obey your parents. Take advice from your parents. Good. Stable one. That's the guy. Theme, right? Did you guys come up with a theme for the Little Mermaid? Alright, so after talking about this really quick, you guys, I think table 4 was on the right track, because what you need to understand about a theme is that it's not the main topic of a movie or a story or anything like that. It's not what happened in the story. It's not a quick summary of the story. It is a life lesson, or it is a moral of a story, or it is something that the author is trying to teach you. So it's not always going to be told to you. It's not always going to be right in the writing that this is exactly what the author wants you to know. Sometimes you have to infer what the author is saying. Do you guys know what infer means?
No.
Avery? Yeah. Kind of guess. Anyone else? Go ahead, Avery. Yeah, context clues. Good words. So, context clues meaning using the words out of the story or what the author has written to try and decide what he is trying to teach you, he or she is trying to teach you. Okay? So, these are some really good definitions for things. In green, an underlying meaning that often must be inferred. Okay, we just talked about that word, about what it means in drawing context clues. In blue, the message, lesson, or moral of the story. Okay, these are all things that when you're younger, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You guys have all heard that one? No. So that's a common theme through life. No, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So the prince and the frog, or the princess and the frog. Right? She has to kiss the frog. Yeah, it's like but it's in the eye of the beholder. So, in red, a universal idea. I'll wait until you're ready. A universal idea or message that stretches through the story. So something that can go throughout the entire movie or story or book or anything, not just in the very first chapter. Okay, it's going to stretch through the entire story from cover to cover. And it's also something that you guys would be able to relate to your own life. Okay? So, why don't we get all the number ones to come and get a piece of paper for your group. Okay, so when you guys get this paper, it is full of little short stories on it. And then the lines on the bottom, there's two bold questions. Alejandro. There's two bold questions on it. What is the theme of the story? Yeah. And what happens in the story that leads you to believe this? So these are certain things. So just like we were talking, or Avery was talking about, using your context clues. So individually, on your own, and silently, for the first one, I want you guys to read it on your own, come up with a theme, and tell me why you think it is that theme. Okay? I'll give you 5 minutes. Go. This one's on your own to start. Number 1. Read through the first one. On your own. Decide what you think the theme is. And why. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you're done with your first one. I'm done with just a thumbs up. Not yet. No, just the first one. I'll give you guys 1 more minute.
Okay, 1, Ms. Franco, do you copy? Go to 2.
All right, you guys, now I want you guys to take 2 minutes to discuss with the group that you're sitting at right now. Take 2 minutes to discuss with them what you think the theme is and why, and come up with a consensus as a group using these definitions, guys, okay? So look at what you wrote down, and let's see if it's a universal idea or message that you can relate to your own life. See if it's a moral or a lesson of the story that you guys have to learn from so you don't repeat the same mistakes again. Okay? Go ahead. Yeah. Sure. You guys can discuss as an entire table.
up of what's going on. Okay? That goes throughout the whole story, not just in one part, not just one thing. Like it says, the universal message or idea only to okay? Not just about life. It's about
Did you guys come up with a theme as a group?
everything that happened in the story in life.
How'd you get that? So that was that.
Be nice to each other. Okay? The story had lots of things that I talked about that. An example the theme is that we should be nicer to each other.
There you go.
Not just to do this about
So that's something you can relate to your whole life, right? So make sure that's what the big idea about a theme is that you own something that you can relate not to just a single topic of him forgetting his lunch, but or afraid to set his alarm, but making sure you remember to lock the door, making sure you remember to pack your homework, stuff like that too. So you can relate it to a lot of different topics. All right, eyes up here. Okay, so walking around, we see a bunch of different ideas. So let's go with table 6. What did you guys get for your one main theme throughout this story?
He should be grateful because his friends are offering him food.
Good one, I like that. Why did you think that? Go ahead, Helen, you can't say that. So is that theme, be grateful, is that something that you guys can apply to other situations in your life? Or just this single situation? You can apply it to a lot of other situations, right? Always being grateful for what you have. Have you guys ever heard the expression, beggars can't be choosers?
Yeah.
Yeah, has someone said that to you before? If you, beggars can't be choosers.
So you can't choose if you.
You have to be grateful for what someone's offering you if that's what you want, if you don't have it, right? Okay, so Isaac, did you have another theme? Selfishness and pickiness. Okay, how can you put that into a full sentence?
He forgets his lunch and he wants what he wants and not what others want.
True. So Eric should be or shouldn't be because of kind of thing. So Eric shouldn't be selfish because good. Okay, so now remember, walking around, some of our friends, we were writing down that the theme of this story was his lunch, or the theme of this story was his alarm clock. Remember that those are main ideas about this story, they're main topics of the story, but that's not something you learn, right? It's not a lesson that the story is teaching you. It's something that is just a small summary of what this short story is about. So, something we can look at is how a theme is demonstrated through a story. So ways that you guys can find a theme and identify a theme in a story. Okay, so in blue, repetition of a phrase or idea. So that a lot of times are those common themes that you guys hear throughout your life. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder, beggars can't be choosers, all of those kinds of things. Or maybe it's repeating one word the whole time. So you guys know how in a song, there's a chorus of a song, and it's usually the same words over and over again. So a lot of times, it's not always, but sometimes that can be the theme of the song. It's an idea that they want to repeat many times so that you remember it. And that's the part that they want you to take away. Okay? So in red, symbols in a story. So that's a big one. And that one's kind of a tough one. So what a symbol can be for your whole life. So kind of if you guys relate yourselves, when we did today where you related yourself to being Odysseus in the story. So if Odysseus was a symbol for the whole of mankind, then what is it that he is teaching us through this story? And that's a big concept. That's a big idea, and that's something that we're going to go over more in depth. Go ahead, Avery.
It means that if you learn to
you took this person, or Nemo, or Ariel, or Lion King, Simba, and you made him the whole of mankind, it's what are you trying to learn from those lessons? Go ahead.
So, could you possibly learn from Batman movies?
Sure, you totally can. There's a theme to everything. And that relates to the one in green path. So feelings or experiences of the main character. So you can look at what the main character is going through in your movie or book or song or whatever, and you can see how they're changing throughout. What are they learning throughout the story? How is their personality or character changing, and what are they going through that's creating this theme for the story? So, what I think. That's okay. So now, go ahead, Avery.
So, it's like these fables, how they tell you, at the very end they tell you what the character is saying.
Yeah, exactly. Very well said. So just like any fairy tale, okay? Way back in the day, they used to write these fairy tales really crazy, and they actually didn't have a happy ending a lot of times. But it was something to teach the children about how to be respectful, or simple things like how not to play with fire, something like that. Okay, but kids would like lose arms in a fairy tale or something like that. So it was really intense. But so for your next gift, Avery.
For a lot of people, probably choose scary from
A lot of them were scary back then, but they really taught those kids. So, in your next one, you guys are going to go on to number 2, but before you go, I want, and you guys are going to need to, Isaac, you guys might need to grab an extra chair. I want all the 1s at this table, I want all the 2s at this table, all the 3s at this table, all the 4s at this table, and all the 5s at this table, okay?
I'm thinking
Anywhere? That's okay. All the other 4s are going to come sit here. Okay, so go ahead, Kyle. Then you can wait for your feet on this. Okay, so you guys have 10 seconds to find your seat. Bring your papers. Ready, set, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, Alright, so silently again, go ahead and read through your second story. By yourself. Come up with your theme.
guys, you're not on the 3rd, you're on the 2nd.
You're on the second one. If most of your group has finished the second one, then go ahead and discuss it. Quietly. If your homework has not finished, then let them finish. Go ahead. Finish your story. Hold on, Isaac, you gotta read your sheet first. Okay, and that's something that we're going to go through a little bit to be able to define the difference between the two. So now that you guys have done 2 of them, how can you say that a theme and main topic are different? Any ideas? Gotcha.
The theme is what the
So like a lesson you learned, and then what is the main topic? Good. Okay, so then a main topic is just what happens in a story. It's or written.